Hello everyone, welcome to yet another video on Resonance PCCP division. My name is Ashwin Joglekar and today we are here with the chapter Gender, Religion and Caste. Now this is part of your Democratic Politics and Class 10th chapter. So let us quickly begin what this chapter says all about. Gender, as we know, the classification between the males and the females, that is the gender. Religion, that is on the basis of religion, and finally caste, which is again specific to India. Now all these three elements, that is gender, religion and caste, we will be looking at individually, and apart from that we will also try and mix politics in these three instruments and see the outcomes, or try and understand what outcomes will it bring that if you mix politics with these concepts. First is gender, that is in gender, if these issues, gender issues are raised in politics, that will try and bring positive outcomes, or which is better for these this segment. Then in terms of religion, how it will we'll see that probably when expressed in politics or in terms of politics, when religion is expressed exclusively, it may also lead to a fragmentation or division of the country. Third, that is how again in caste dimensions, how politics is shown or is involved. So let us start. We will study about the major three kinds of social differences that can take the form of social divisions and inequalities in the society. These are social differences based on gender, religion and caste. Now the first one here which we will start is, that is gender and politics. Now first of all, sexual division of labor. Now what does this sexual division of labor means? Here it does not have to do anything related to the biological differences between the male and the female, but here it is according to what roles or work has been assigned to them in the society. The sexual division of labor has been under practice for time immemorial. The result of this division of labor is that women have been confined to a private domain of the family, while the public domain has been again completely reserved for men or monopolized by the men. Although women constitute half of the population of the world, their role in public life is really very negligible, or in politics is minimum and in most of the societies. Though the role of women in world politics is increasing, but still it is male dominating. Now here is a table showing that daily time use for men and women. So generally women are seen to be spending more number of hours here in their daily timetables or daily time use. Now next point we move on to is feminist movements. Now feminist movements are aimed at ensuring or the rights of women. Movements which are organized by various women organizations to create equality for women in personal and family life have been termed as feminist movements. They demanded equal rights for women in all spheres of life. There were again agitations in different countries for the extension of voting rights to women, like as we know about French Revolution, how or in the chapter you have seen in rise of nationalism in Europe, how the women had to lead several movements for them to have the right to vote, or to be able to get the right to vote. They demanded enhancing the political and legal status of women. They demanded improvement in the educational and career opportunities also for the women. Different aspects of life in which women are discriminated. Now what are the different types of areas in which we see there is still discrimination being practiced, and how we can establish that fact. Now in terms of literacy again, men are still more educated, or there is enough number of literate men in India as compared to women. So that brings us that how literacy rate is still not being provided, or education is not being provided to the women at large. The literacy rate among women is only 54% as compared to 76% among men. Now this is according to the data of 2011. Similarly, a smaller proportion of girl students go for higher studies because parents prefer to send their male child for their boys' education than spending equally on their daughter's education. Unpaid work. Now we daily observe even in our families, our mothers, our daughters are working day and night for the family, but again that work is completely unnoticed, and because that work what they are supposed to do or what they are doing is not paid for, so therefore there is no equal respect for that work. The proportion of women among the highly paid and valued jobs is still very small. Though on an average Indian woman is working 1 hour more than an average man every day, but most of them are not paid equally. Even there is an act of Equal Remuneration Act, but still many a times we have seen in many areas where women are paid less as compared to men. So are not paid equally, and therefore their work is often not valued. The Equal Wages Act provides that equal wages should be paid to equal work. However, in almost all areas of work, from sports, cinema to factories and fields, women are paid less than men, even when they are both doing exactly the same work. Then next important aspect is related to sex ratio. That is, in many parts of India, parents prefer to have a male child rather than the girl child. Then that is, they prefer to have a son and find ways to have the girl child aborted before she is born. This has led to a decline in the child sex ratio, that is mere 940 girls per 1000 boys. Then domestic issues of domestic violence. There are reports of various kinds of harassment, exploitation and violence against women, both urban as well as rural areas, and it has become unsafe for them, for women. They are not even safe within their own home and from beating and other forms of domestic violence. Next comes is women's political representation. Now, even in India, after the act, that is the Panchayati Raj Act was passed, 1/3 of the seats were reserved for women. Now, similar act is being pending for Lok Sabha as well as for Rajya Sabha. That is, there also 1/3 of the seats should be allowed for women. But again, that act has not been taken up further. In India, the proportion of women in legislature has been very low. The percentage of elected women members in Lok Sabha has never reached even 10% of its total strength. Their share in state assemblies is further less. In this respect, India is among the bottom group of nations in the world. In the government, cabinets are generally or largely male. Even when a woman is seen as a or has become a minister or a chief minister or probably the prime minister as well, we see majorly that males are there in the cabinet. All male, even when a woman becomes the chief minister or the prime minister. Now, one way to solve this problem is to make it legally binding to have a fair proportion of women in the elected bodies. That is what Panchayati Raj system did. 1/3 of the seats were reserved in local government bodies, in panchayats as well as your municipalities. Now, there are more than 10 lakh elected women representatives in rural and urban areas, local bodies. At least 1/3 of seats again should be reserved in Lok Sabha and state assemblies for women. A bill with this proposal has been pending before the parliament for more than a decade. Now, women in national parliaments in different regions of the world in percentage, and here you will see the participation of the Nordic countries, that is Sweden, Scandinavia, has been very high, and here is the world average, that is 24, and India is at 11.8. So, India is much more below the world average, also below Pacific countries, Arab states, Asia, Saharan Africa as well as Europe and Americas. Now, this brings us to our next topic, that is religion. Religion, communalism and politics. Now, as we know, India is a secular country. Now, secular here means, in the context of India, that is, all religions are equal in front of law or in the eyes of the law. Just opposite to it, or just the contradictory thing to secularism, is the idea of communalism. Now, different consideration about religion and politics. Now, Gandhiji's views regarding religion and politics. Now, Gandhiji was of the view that definitely religion should help shape up politics, and good things or good value systems from all the religions should be taken, and politics should be guided with that. Gandhiji used to say that religion can never be separated from politics. What he meant was that not any particular religion like Hinduism or Islam, but moral values that form the basis of all religions. He believed that politics must be guided by the ethics which are drawn from these religions. Then humanist religion and politics. Human rights group have always believed that most of the victims of the communal riots have always been the people of the minority groups, are from religious minorities. They have demanded that the government should take stern measures to protect these religious minorities. Then the third point here is women, religion and politics. Women's movement have also argued that the family laws of major religions discriminate against women, and that men have been given more amount of freedom as compared to women. So they have demanded that government should change these laws to make them more equitable in nature. The conclusion of this is, all these instances involve a relationship between religion and politics, but they do not seem to be very wrong or dangerous. Ideas, ideals and values drawn from different religions can perhaps or should play a role in politics. People should be able to express what they feel in politics, their needs, interests and demands as a member of a religious community. But when these demands becomes hardlined, okay, that is exclusive in terms, then that should be taken care of. Those who hold political power should sometimes be able to regulate the practice of religion so as to prevent discrimination and oppression on any particular religious group. These political acts are not wrong as long as they treat every religion equally. Now, moving further to our next topic, that is communalism, part of it only. Population of different religious communities in India according to the 2011 census, that is 79.8 Hindu, Muslims 14.2, others 2%, which include Buddhist, Jains and other religions, and Christians and Sikh, Christian 2.3 and Sikh 1.7%. Now, according to the definition, communalism is a situation when a particular community tries to promote its own interest at the cost of other communities. That is, my religion is better than yours. The idea should be that all religions are good. The communalism problem becomes acute or very much when religion is seen as the basis of the nation, that is, religion is the sole thing on which this nation has been created. When one religion and its followers are pitted against or are discriminated against by another, when people start believing that beliefs of one religion are superior to those of the other people, when the demands of one religious group are again formed in opposition to the other, or when state power is used to establish domination of one religious group over the rest. So, all these aspects are of communalism. Now, communal politics. Now, how does this communalism get itself mixed with politics, and what are the outcomes? Probably we will see whether it is positive or negative. Religion is used in politics in exclusive and partisan terms. That is, there is no looking back. Whenever people are appealed in the name of religion, they emotionally follow it. This manner of using religion in politics is communal politics. Communal politics is based on the idea that religion is the principal basis of social community, and communalism involves thinking along the following lines. Now, what are these following lines on which communalism works? That is, the followers of a particular religion again must belong to one community only, that all the people belonging to one religion should belong to one community. Their fundamental interest should be the same, and any difference which they have is not relevant. That is, any difference that they have is irrelevant or trivial for community life. Now, communalism also says that people who follow different religions cannot stay together, who follow different religions cannot belong to the same social community. If the followers of different religions have some commonalities, that is, if they have some common understanding over certain issues, that is again irrelevant. These are superficial and immaterial. Their interests are bound to contradict in some way or the other, or to be different and involve a conflict. Sometimes communalism leads to believe that people belonging to different religions cannot at all exist as in one nation, or cannot be part of one nation. Religions cannot live as equal citizens within one nation. Therefore, either one of them has to dominate the other, or they have to form different nations. Now, various forms of communalism in politics. The most common expression of communalism is in everyday ideas, beliefs, that is our superstitious beliefs, probably the prejudices which we have created. These routinely involve religious prejudices, stereotypes of religious communities, and belief in the superiority of one's own religion over the other religions. A communal mind often leads to a quest for political dominance, so that through that it can spread its own religious domination of one's own religious community. For those belonging in majority community, this takes the form of majoritarian policies or dominance. For those belonging to the minority community, it can indulge in a form or probably a desire to form a new nation, or to move out of that nation to form a separate political unit. And political mobilization on religious lines is another frequent form of communalism which we see in everyday life probably. This involves the use of sacred symbols, religious leaders, emotional appeal which is done, and plain fear in order to bring followers of one religion together in the political arena. In electoral politics, this often involves special appeal to the interests or emotions of voters of one religion in preference to others. Sometimes communalism takes its most ugly form in the form of probably your communal violence, your riots and other things. And even India has seen or witnessed the partition also. That is, riots and massacre. India and Pakistan suffered some of the worst communal riots at the time of the partition. The post-independence period also saw large-scale communal violence. Now, next point comes here is the secular state. Now, there is no official religion of the Indian state, unlike you have the status of Buddhism in Sri Lanka, that was accordingly, and that of Islam in Pakistan, that of Christianity in United States, in England, of Christianity in England, and our constitution does not give a special status to any religion. The constitution provides all individuals and communities freedom to profess, practice and propagate any religion or not follow anyone. The constitution prohibits discrimination on the basis of or on the grounds of religion. The constitution allows the state to intervene in the matters of religion in order to ensure equality within religious communities. For example, abolition of untouchability. Understood in this sense, secularism is not just an ideology of some parties or person. This idea constitutes the foundations of our country. Now, the next topic was caste and politics. Previously in lecture 1 we had done that is with gender and how gender is mixed with politics, and then second was we talked about religion, that is communalism and secularism. Now, today caste is something which is quite unique to India. Now, in this table it is shown the percentage of population. It should be here population living below the poverty line. And now, what are some of the reasons of the decline of the caste system? Urbanization, people climbing up the social ladder, that is because of the employment opportunities which they have received. Abolition of the zamindari system and all such things are responsible for the decline of caste system. That is, under the caste system, work is divided among people on the basis of their caste. That was again which was being practiced in India. Occupations are passed from generation to generation. Every caste group has exclusive hereditary occupations. Members of the same caste are believed to be a part of the same community. They are allowed to marry only within their community and cannot even eat with members from the other caste. However, the caste system is declining in India, and many of the political leaders, social reformers have played a significant role in doing that. Mahatma Gandhi, Jyotiba Phule worked to end caste system in India. They worked to establish a society which was where caste inequalities are absent. Due to such measures and due to increase in education and awareness, the caste system is on the decline in India. With economic development, urbanization and growth in literacy, and the old ideas of caste system and breaking down, the capability of a person is more important now than his caste, his or her caste. The opportunities available to people do not differentiate them on the basis of caste anymore. But caste has not again yet disappeared completely from contemporary India. Some of the older aspects of caste have persisted. That is, even now most of the people prefer to marry in their own caste or tribe, untouchability has not ended completely despite constitutional provisions or prohibition. Effect of centuries of advantages and disadvantages of the caste system continue to be felt even today on the lower caste groups. There is a disproportionately large number of upper caste among the urban middle classes in our country, and caste continues to be closely linked to economic status. Now, various forms of caste and how caste is expressed in politics. When parties choose candidates in elections, they keep in mind the caste composition of the electorate. So now even political parties, when they field a candidate from a particular constituency, so they try and look at various caste compositions, and they also try to field a member who has more chance of winning or belongs to a particular caste, and nominate candidates from different castes so as to muster necessary support to win elections. Even when governments are formed, political parties usually take care that members from different castes get a seat in the cabinet or gets a ministry, so that people of all the castes are at least have a say, taken care that representatives of different castes and tribes find a place in it. Now, even political parties and candidates in elections make appeals to caste sentiments of the people to muster support. Some political parties are known for their caste, favor some caste and are seen as their representatives. Universal adult franchise and the principle of one person, one vote compel political parties or leaders to gear up to the task of mobilizing and asking the support or political support. It also brought new consciousness among the people of the caste, various castes that were hitherto treated as inferior or low. Now, even the system of one person, one vote has even given these people a say. That is, now earlier when they were treated as inferior or low and they did not had any say, now because of the system even they have a vote value or they also have a vote. Caste alone cannot determine election results in India now. No parliamentary constituency in India is completely made up of a particular caste. Now, even in a particular constituency, people from different caste groups stay together. So, therefore, no parliamentary constituency in country has a clear majority of one single caste. So, every candidate and party needs to muster the support or have support of other caste people as well to win the confidence of more than one caste and community to win elections. No party wins the votes of all the voters. So, if I am from a particular caste and probably in my caste group there is a notion of voting to a particular party, it is not necessary that all the members of my caste will probably vote for the same member. So, no party wins the votes of all the voters of a caste or community. When people say that a caste is a vote bank of a party, it means the larger chunk or the share of those people from that caste are in support of that particular party. It usually means that a large proportion of the voters from that caste vote for that particular party. Many political parties may put up candidates from the same caste so that votes may get sliced up. That is, if that caste is believed to dominate the electorate in a particular constituency. Some voters may have more than one candidate from their caste, while many voters have no candidate from their caste. So, ruling party and the sitting MP or MLA frequently lose elections in our country. That could not have happened if people were frozen in their choices that no, I have to elect this person only or person belonging to XYZ caste only. Not have happened if all caste and communities were frozen in their political preferences. The voters have strong attachment to political parties, which is often stronger than their attachment to a particular caste or their community. People within the same caste or community have different interests depending on their economic condition. So, again, like people in the same family probably might have different goals or different aspirations. Similarly, people from the same caste might be in support for different parties. Rich and poor or men and women from the same caste probably also vote differently. That is, same caste often vote very differently. People's assessment of the performance of the government, what work they have done, also nowadays play a major role in deciding who or which party they are going to vote. And the popularity rating of the leaders matter and are often decisive in elections nowadays. Next topic is caste system, a great threat to Indian democracy. Now, most of the politicians and scholars accept that caste system has become very complicated presently. It has become a great threat to the Indian democratic system. Caste system implies denial of equality and freedom to the lower caste people, and hence in contrary to the principles of equality. As such, it is passing or it is a big threat to our democratic policy. The politics of caste is as its worst is being practiced nowadays. This type of politics is responsible for creating social tensions, violence and fear psychosis among the people. It has given rise to instability in the political system of our country. Now, the steps which are taken by the government to do away with all these such things, that is with casteism, as we know, untouchability has been abolished by Indian Constitution, and it has been made a criminal offence. The fundamental rights guaranteed in our Constitution provide equality and freedom to all citizens. Reservation has been provided to scheduled caste and members of scheduled tribes and people of other backward caste in educational institutions, jobs and legislatures. As per DPSP, that is Directive Principles, state is duty bound to promote and protect the interest of scheduled caste and scheduled tribes. Now, these are some of the measures which we are going through, which the government has taken for the upliftment of the people, and thus helping in removing the caste notions from our mindset probably. Education again becomes an important factor, is provided to more and more people. Inter-caste marriages are being welcomed by most of the state governments, progressive parties and leaders. This brings us to the end of the chapter. Here are some key terms which are mentioned in the chapter, that is stereotype, sexual division of labor, feminist and patriarchy. So, probably stereotype is a fixed image which we create or idea of a particular person or thing. Sexual division of labor, as we know, a system in which all work inside the home is done by the females and all the work outside of the house is supposed to be done by the males. Feminist, a woman or a man who believes in equal rights and opportunities for women and men. And patriarchy is a society probably ruled by father. This concept is used to refer to a system in which men or eldest male member of the family is considered as the head of the family and who is responsible for taking the major decisions of the family. So, thank you so much, and this is all for today.